Have you ever found yourself in the same bad situation again? Same drama, same letdown, the same how did I fall for that kind of moment? Now ask yourself this. If the clown keeps acting like a clown, why do you keep buying a ticket to the circus? What if the real issue isn't the clown, but the fact that you keep showing up to watch the performance? The phrase, don't blame a clown for acting like a clown, ask yourself why you keep going to the circus, is a punchy little saying. I know it looks good on Twitter, it hits hard on Instagram, but when you sit with it, when you really sit with it, it unpacks a lifetime of repeated patterns, disappointments, and self-awareness we've all tried to dodge. This isn't about just one bad relationship or one unreliable friend, or even one boss who keeps stringing you along with promises of promotions and praise that never show up. This is about you and why, despite you knowing how the story ends, you keep showing up for the sequel. You already know who the clown is in your life. You've probably already pictured their face. It might be someone who drains your energy with constant drama, someone who lies, cheats, or even flakes, or someone who smiles wide, cracks jokes, makes excuses, and always finds a way to turn things upside down, and then acts surprised when you get upset. The thing is, you've seen that act before. The juggling, the pratfalls, the fake flowers. It's not new. It's not even creative at this point. You could probably mouth the script right along with them. And yet you're still in the audience every time, front row, popcorn in hand, hoping that maybe this time will be different. But here's where it gets uncomfortable. The clowns in the world aren't hiding who they are. They're just doing what clowns do. The real question isn't why they act like that. The question is, why do you keep clapping? Why do you keep buying tickets to the same show, expecting a plot twist? This isn't about blame. It's about awareness, accountability, not theirs, but yours. Because once you see the pattern, it's no longer about them. It's about your participation in the loop. Now, I know you're probably thinking I didn't choose this, but that's not entirely true. Sometimes we do choose, and sometimes we choose just by not choosing, by staying silent, by not setting boundaries, even by pretending that this time's going to be different, even when deep down we know it's not. You know how the show ends, so why are you still in your seat? So why does this happen? Sometimes we stay because we're hoping the clown will grow up. We believe they'll evolve, that maybe all they needed was one more chance, or that you can be the one who finally makes a difference. And honestly, that's beautiful. It really is. Your heart's probably in the right place. But hope without evidence is just wishful thinking in a costume. If someone has shown you the same behavior over and over again, it's not an accident. It's a pattern. It's who they are right now. And unless they decide to change, not for you, not to get you back, but because they want to, then guess what? The clown is still the clown. You can't fix someone who doesn't see a problem. You can't rescue someone who's mastered playing the victim. And you can't teach someone who's committed to misunderstanding. So you have to ask yourself, am I here because I think they'll change or because I'm afraid to leave? Sometimes we stay at the circus because it feels familiar. That chaotic energy, the emotional ups and downs, the unpredictability, it might feel weirdly comfortable. Not because it's healthy, but because it's known. When you've grown up in an environment where love feels conditional, where peace is rare, or where you've had to earn attention by being useful or fixing other people's messes, the circus can tend to feel like home. You might say you're tired of drama, but in some corner of your mind, it feels like stability because calm feels unfamiliar, and oftentimes unfamiliar feels unsafe. So even when you do meet someone calm, grounded, and consistent, it might not spark anything. It might even feel boring because the absence of chaos doesn't feel like peace. It feels like emptiness. And that's when you realize the clown isn't just a person, it's a pattern. And the circus is the script you were handed a long time ago. But here's the thing. You can and you should write a new one. You're not stuck. You're just conditioned. And conditioning can be unlearned. Now, of course, that's easier said than done, especially when you've built an identity around being the helper, the fixer, the one who always keeps the show running behind the scenes, making excuses for everyone else's behavior. Because if the clown is acting up and you leave, what does that say about you? And then that's when the ego sneaks in. It tells you that you can be the one to save them, that you're different, that your love is special, that you just have to stick around long enough, sacrifice a little more, stay a little longer, hold on a little tighter, and eventually they'll come around. But here's the truth. Real love doesn't require suffering as proof. It doesn't ask you to shrink, contort, or wear a mask to be accepted. That's not love. That's a performance. So maybe it's time to walk out of the tent. And I understand that sometimes you can't, not completely. Sometimes the clown is your parent, your sibling, even your coworker, someone you can't just delete from your life like an app on your phone. But even then, you have a choice. You can stop sitting in the front row. You can stop laughing at jokes that aren't funny. You can stop applauding when they stumble through another round of apologies with no real change behind them. You can still be in the circus without participating in the act. You don't have to yell. You don't have to stage an intervention. You just have to quietly stop engaging in the dynamic. Not with bitterness, not with spite, with clarity. Like, for example, I see you, I know your role, but I'm not here to play mine anymore. And when you stop reacting, when you stop being the predictable audience, everything shifts. The clown doesn't know what to do without applause. That's when the next real performance ends. And what comes next? Silence, discomfort, maybe even loneliness. Because walking away from the circus means confronting the part of yourself that needed it. The part that got something out of the chaos, even if it was just the illusion of connection. The part that thought, if I can fix this, maybe I'm worth fixing too. And it's hard, but it's honest. And when you stop distracting yourself with performances, with drama, with dysfunction, you get to meet yourself fully without the noise. And that self, that version of you, they deserve a stage of their own. Not as a spectator in someone else's circus, but as the director of their own story. You get to choose your cast. You get to write the scenes. You get to decide which act belong and which ones are just wasting your time. And if you've been stuck in the same story for years, it's okay. You didn't know. You were doing what you were taught. You were showing up the only way you knew how. You were loyal to pain because it felt like home. But now you know better. Now you see the red nose, the makeup, and the script. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. That's the gift and the responsibility, because it means next time they stumble into your life, big shoes squeaking, fake smile plastered on, you're not going to fall for it. You'll nod, you'll maybe even smile, but you'll keep walking because you've got better places to be. The show might still go on, but your seat will be empty, and you're going to be free. Free to build a life that doesn't revolve around chaos. Free to surround yourself with people who show up without a mask. Free to write a story that doesn't start with once upon a breakdown and end in regret. You don't have to blame the clown. You just have to stop buying tickets. That's the power. That's the shift. That's when everything changes. So maybe the question isn't, why do they keep doing this to me? Maybe it's, why do I keep allowing it? And maybe, just maybe, the answer starts with walking out of the tent. No announcements, no drama, just you choosing peace over performance, distance over disrespect. And if that's the first quiet moment you've had in a while, let it be. The silence, that stillness, that's the sound of your soul exhaling. That's the moment the healing begins, and you deserve every second of it. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. In the meantime, stay humble, be blessed, and keep going.